Welcome to BBC News. I'm Sarah.
I'm Harvey.
And we're going to be presenting top stories for you today. Have you ever completed a Rubik's Cube? Do you even know what a Rubik's Cube is? Well, kids from George Salter Academy are cube experts. The craze of 1980 has returned to 2K17 and is proving a fun mental challenge. Completing the cube has become so popular that students are creating a cube club. The cube club will start after half term.
Speaking of problems you can't fix, let's talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump has influenced currently generations to believe that all Muslims are terrorists and should be treated differently and not in a positive manner. This also affects the views of equality. Protests have been extremely heated over strong views for and against Brexit. However, Donald Trump has caused people to support Muslims. They have been abused, and this is not humane.
I don't like the method he uses, but I like the fact that he brought the connection of the human race closer.
Who will be a better president, Donald Trump or Kanye West, and why?
Kanye West, because he didn't discriminate a person just because of the religion that they're born in. A president who discriminates a person just because of their religion should not be a president at all.
Well, thank you, Aisha, for answering this series of questions. Now, back to the studio.
Now on to Hilda and Amy, who have created a questionnaire.
I'm going to read out some quotes about that Donald Trump has said, and I want you to tell me how you feel about them. So the first one is, Happy New Year to all, including to my many enemies and those who have fought me and lost so badly that they just don't know what to do. Love. What do you think about that quote?
I think it implies that he's quite confident and quite full of himself, and he's definitely quite happy with the fact that he's president and he's got more power now to make his views more realistic.
All of the women on The Apprentice flirted with me, consciously or unconsciously. That's to be expected. What do you think that shows about how he thinks about himself?
I think it kind of shows he's quite full of himself, and he thinks of women as just like a thing, like he's the new thing on the market.
The beauty of me is that I'm very rich. Do you think this shows that he's very vain?
Yeah, because beauty comes from within and not from money.
Thank you, Amy and Hilda. With the rise of social media, with younger generation, children are becoming obsessed with their appearance and body image. Growing up in a world of filters, Photoshop and famous people, where exactly do we draw the line?
Young children, some as young as 8, are becoming selfie-obsessed and focusing more on the amount of followers they get on social media than their education and what comes from within. Looking up to the popular celebrities of our time, children are constantly weighed down with the pressure to be more skinny or to be more flawless. But shouldn't we be encouraging this new generation to become comfortable in their own skin rather than being made into something they are not?
You can pour it on toast, pour it into your pancakes and even mix it with your cake batter. But never would any of us have guessed that such sweet product could cause such havoc.
Recent studies and sources have shown that Nutella can cause cancer. An ingredient in particular that specialists have picked up upon is palm oil. Palm oil is used in loads of products, but Nutella in particular has received the most criticism. However, on the bright side, Nutella's creator claims that the temperature of which the palm oil is cooked at is under the damage line of 200 degrees. Therefore, this puts a grin on the faces of loads of people and wipes away the fear of cancer.
On to a different story in West Brom New Square. 2013 was the year of Shopaholic. Many people out of West Brom travelled to New Square for the big brands. This £200 million worth of building decided to upgrade their shopping centre, from shopping all day to dining all night. New Square have added a lot of restaurants that appeal to many people. So next time you go to New Square, make sure you grab a bite to eat. Now on to Harvey's story about his performing arts scholarship.
George Salter Academy is a competitive school to get into. However, once a year, 22 people get in on a performance scholarship. We will now speak to one of those students who got in for singing. Harvey, how did you feel when you got in on singing?
I was really overwhelmed because I weren't really expecting to get in because I thought that there'd be like more talented people than me.
What advantages do you get whilst you are on the scholarship?
I get free after school curricula for singing. Whereas if you are just like a student, it will cost £20 a term.
Do other students support you?
Most of the all of the performing arts students do, but then some students that support some normal students just support me as well. But then there's some who say that it's like a girly subject and like they say that I should play football like an actual man, but I don't. And now over to Emma about sport.
Thanks, Harvey. Here at George Sauter Academy, we're launching a whole school extracurricular program. Our reporter Barry is here to tell us more.
Hi, I'm Barry. We know every student is different. This program will introduce you to new clubs and develop your skills. Earlier, I spoke to Mr. Burns to find out about the extracurricular program.
We've got a wide range of clubs on offer every single night of the week. They're mainly focused at years 7, 8s and 9s. So for instance, they're all indicated on the board. That represents our logo actually. So for instance, there's art clubs, dance, football, photography, business, design, food, English, geography, history, computer science, and the list goes on.
How do they help?
So hopefully the pupil may not have done some of the subjects before, so they may not have done computer science, for instance, where they're actually they're being able to build their own game. So they may get involved in it and they may actually really like it, and then potentially they may go and do it at college or university.
Now over to Neve for the latest news on the GSA netball team and how they got on at the regionals.
The GSA Under-19 netball team played at regional schools last Sunday and played very well as they were unbeaten for 6 games and won their group. They reached the semi-finals and played against Bishop Vesey in half-time. They were 6-6 but lost 12-9. Bishop Vesey were a strong team with an under-21 England shooter and went on to win the tournament. The coach of the under-19s was very impressed with the team and were very proud that they came in the top 4 and said the only thing that they would like to improve on technically were little unforced errors, occasionally giving the ball away. My name's Neve, reporting for BBC School Report.
Next week, Georges will go up against the Royal Society of Arts, also known as RSA, based in Tipton, in a football match in the Sandwell Cup. George Sauter have just won against the Great Sandwell Academy in an emphatic 5-3 victory. Last season, the teams drew with the score being 5-5, which will put a lot of pressure on the players. We have asked the manager, Mr. Hayes, how he feels about the upcoming game.
We've got some very good individual players, playing very well as a team, some good chemistry. We're coming off the back of a good result against Sandwell Academy, so I think we'll go far.
And that's all our sporting news for today. And now to Amy for the weather.
The weather today isn't looking too bad, with bright sunny spells over the West Midlands and only a few dull clouds. Have a lovely day and enjoy the sun while it lasts.
That's enough from us today. Tune in tomorrow for more news. Until then, have a good evening.